This week's podcast, Dale Byron on Poetry, is dedicated to all those who are hurting this week, these few days after the American election, all those who are deeply disappointed in the outcome of our election. The poem is called An Exhausted, Down and Dirty, Bruised Hope. An exhausted, down and dirty, bruised hope. What is hope now? What is hope now after such a cataclysmic failure? After the promises and heroes have all gone home, good causes abandoned, so hard they barely limp, and tires flattened, the old driving wheels lost, and those furtive smiles of despair in faces everywhere. This beleaguered, broken hope, bruised and swollen, a hope that must bear openly its own salted wounds, deracinated, yet strangely poised, sharply elbowed, drifting in a cloud of confusion, of pain, and of doubt. A trembling hope, placing carefully each foot forward. This bedraggled hope, with its short, shallow breaths, yet assuring the even more lost, it will be okay. This thirsting, starving hope, still preparing for fast. How do you know if your hope is ready, real, true, simple? You are alive. The air, the earth, river, sky. This poem, again, is dedicated to my friends and loved ones and colleagues and others, anyone who has found themselves in a very difficult position, very disappointed, and more than disappointed, despairing about the recent election in the U.S. And I wanted to plumb my own depths to see how I felt, which is one of the reasons that I am attracted to poetry and attracted to writing poetry, trying to find things that I didn't know that I knew. And this line, when that last line came to me, what was suggested to me today in reading some of the comments of people about the election, and people were talking about this kind of bruised, soiled hope, this dirty, down and dirty hope. And it was an image and a kind of a feeling that called to me. So that was the beginning of this poem. And particularly when I got to the end of the last stanza, this bedraggled hope with its short, shallow breaths, there's kind of an anxiety that has been there in the feeling of deep, deep disappointment, even grieving. This bedraggled hope with its short, shallow breaths, yet assuring the even more lost, that it will be okay. I was thinking there that as we reach out, even if we're feeling down and discouraged and lost, that we can reach out to others who are feeling even more lost, perhaps. Maybe we'll be in that position a day from now, and someone else, a friend or a colleague or someone else, can reach out to us and help us. But can we assure the even more lost that it is okay? And then the poem goes on, this thirsting, starving hope, still preparing to fast. And that line came through, I think, with the feeling that even though it is difficult, thirsting, starving, that we must prepare ourselves for a long journey that may not have as much sustenance and food as we need. So we've got to prepare ourselves even for a fast among the thirsting and starving, that kind of hope. And finally, how do you know if your hope is ready, real, and true? Simple. You're alive. You are alive. The air, the earth, river, sky. Now, that line came to me because so many of my friends and colleagues and loved ones are finding new inspiration, new solace, new healing by spending more time in the natural world. I find I am drawn to that myself. And kind of a rededication to what feeds us. And it allows us to relate with ourselves with more compassion, relate to ourselves with more healing energy, and of course to others, to our dear ones in our lives, to others, and finally to the great other, which can provide healing and solace and all of that in the natural world. And I think these times are calling for that. How do you know, even if your hope is bruised and down and dirty and exhausted, how do you know if your hope is ready, real, true? Well, it's simple. You're alive. You're alive. The air, the earth, river, sky. Thank you so much for your listening ear. I really appreciate it. If you know someone who may appreciate this approach to poetry, pass the podcast along. And until next time and next poems or poem, please take good care of yourself. And if you can, someone else.